There's another area that I want to touch when it comes to communications and marketing and whatnot. When we go to the GMB website, and when, again, I know we've been discussing documents and where do we get our information, so I'll be very precise here, Mr. Chair. GMB website, click departments, then you go to Treasury Board, which is the department under consideration today. There's a link on the Treasury Board to public accounts, and that talks about expenditures, which again the Minister has said that he's in charge of. Then you scroll down to Other Information 2016, and you click on the Unaudited Supplementary Suppliers List, which is a public document. But it does raise some questions as we look at some of the math. So let's start at, because this public document says what vendors have received payments from the government for the folks at home. So let's start with M5 Marketing Communications and their subsidiary MarketQuest /MQO Research Group. This is in the combined department supplier and grant payments. We find M5 listed as getting $872,060. Excuse me, and we find MarketQuest getting $507,961 for a total of $1,380,021, give or take. Yet when we try to reconcile this amount with the individual departments' reports lower down on that particular document, we can only reach a total of $866,008. And this is comprised of M5 payments of $540,070 from social development, $42,788 from government services. MarketQuest MQO payments are listed as $256,528 from PEDAL and $26,622 from finance. So it seems like there's over $500,000 unaccounted for when, or actually about $508,961 or so. So should this occur when we look at the supplementary suppliers list, which is supposed to be all-encompassing, and shouldn't those numbers all add up? So maybe the minister, and I can give him a moment or two, you know, shouldn't we be able to find out or know where that other $500,000 went? You know, we know that M5 received that $25 million tourism contract, but that was just this year that they were awarded that. So I don't know if that number's in there or not. But we do know that, you know, we've talked about M5, well, we've talked about it. It was on the webpage that their senior VP helped with election campaign, and according to Chris McGuinness on the M5 website, again, he was involved in the Liberal election campaign as well. So can the minister, through you, Chair, tell us where that $508,961 payment came from? It is taxpayers' money, and we've separated the finance and the Treasury because we want to be more focused on the expenditures. So, so we'd like to take a moment and find the answer as to where this money went.
So through you, Mr. Chair, just to reply to the question. Obviously, I think the member was talking about two different companies. I would remind the member that public accounts reports expenditures of government. Expenditures of government are reported based on government policies that exist now, that's been existing for many, many years in the past. And so the work that has been reported has been tendered, and I think he may be getting confused because there's two different companies there. I don't know. But certainly all the reporting that we have made public that the member refers to follow the government policies in terms of reporting. So I just want to make sure that people know that, you know, the reporting has been based on government policies.
Well, and again, when it comes to Treasury, the minister has said that they split finance and treasury to be more focused on how and where the expenditures are. And he mentioned, you know, two companies. Here's a situation where there was one company. Similar issue with communications firms Wicked Ideas. They're listed in having received $222,752 in total, yet when we reconcile with departments, we only find a record of $61,050 in government services. Now, of course, we all know that Wicked Ideas received a sole-sourced, untendered contract worth $135,000 from the three-member shale gas panel. And there was an issue with the owner of Wicked Ideas, had a business relationship with one of the panel members, but that was never covered in the media, so it's as if it never happened. But can you tell us where that missing $161,072 is for Wicked Ideas may be found? Because this is a single company. It is an untendered contract. How do we reconcile the debits and credits?
The member knows that there's this policy how things are reported, and again, the policy's been is respected to the letter, and when reporting occurs, the member would know because he's been in government or elected or in government actually for about 11 years. He would know that you know, any work that's done below 25,000 would not be reported in that nature. That's the policy of government, and that's the rules that's been followed for so many years, and again, it's still being followed, so that's the answer.
Thanks. 13 years, just, you know, I know we're talking about numbers and trying to be accurate, but you know, I mean, if these are all under $25,000 contracts, it's really adding up, and it's a concern, you know, when you look at the firms and their association with the Liberal Party. Another communications consultant firm, Gandalf Group, is listed as being paid $115,000, yet when we go to reconcile this, we find only one payment from government services of $62,986, so we're missing around 52. So maybe there were a number of contracts there that weren't tendered, contrary to what was said before, and were just sole source. Now, everybody knows the Gandalf Group is well known for having David Hurl on their team. He's a well-known Liberal campaign chair, working with Paul Martin, Kathleen Wynne, Justin Trudeau, and apparently Premier Gallant. So we're missing about $52,000 of taxpayers' money on that one. And look at Revolution Strategy, another communications firm well known with Liberal ties, and their total is $163. But then you go to reconcile it, government services of $62.82. My government services, they seem to need a lot of communications consulting work. I mean, don't we have about 100 communications people on staff? Anyways, well, you know, again, you just look at the numbers, and you look at the I guess communications is a good business to be in when the Liberal government is in. But anyways, we find Revolution getting $47,000 from Petal, and again, we're left with about 588 missing. And then last but not least, Bonfire Communications, well known for the Huddle web magazine. Of course, Mr. Gates at Huddle, it was listed on the Premier's Hot Button Issues email. It was right there in the emails list that Huddle had that. They received some money as well from ONB. We can talk about that a little bit later. But Bonfire's total is listed at $73,755. Yet again, we can't. We see that there's only one department reporting that they hired them. That, ironically, being the Executive Council headed by the Premier. So, anyways, we'll be able to ask the Premier about that one. Bonfire got $39,000 from them, so we're still not able to reconcile the balance sheet and missing about $43,413. At least the amount's getting lower, so there's not as much slippage or gap, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, hopefully we can get the Minister of the Treasury Board to figure out exactly where that money went. And I'm sure he would want to let the public know, Mr. Chair, through you, where that money went, because it's that uncertainty of maybe there is you know, too many untendered contracts under 25,000 going towards some of these particular communication groups that that have had a history with the particular government. So I would pose that question to the minister and ask him if he will undertake to satisfy the public, satisfy the opposition, exactly why there is a gap in the accounting when it comes to the to these particular communications groups. Because if he can show that accounting and make sure that the balance of payments total versus the number of different departments making payments to those particular communications groups, and I mean, they've got to show up somewhere, even if they are under 25,000. They have to show up somewhere. And again, we've already ascertained the fact that those amounts don't have to be tendered, and there are some untendered anyways. So if the minister across the way would undertake that endeavor, I can end my questions there.
Mr. Chair, through you. I'll certainly reply to the members' comments, because I don't think there was many questions there. I think it was more. I think he mentioned earlier today that he didn't want to be partisan or they're taking things seriously. I got to remind the member that every single expenditure is accounted for. Every single government expenditure is accounted for. And the reporting is based on government policy that's been there many years, of which he followed, I suspect, when he was a minister of government of the Crown. The expenditures are all reported. They're all submitted to, they're all part of the audited financials that are made public every single year. So I want to assure New Brunswickers, and I want to assure the opposition, that the accounting of the expenditure are taking place, and they're part of all of the audited financial statements that are made public once a year, audited by the Auditor General. Thank you.
Well, again, you know, there's some ties here with the Liberal Party that are of a concern, and the numbers don't add up. So again, I will suggest to the minister, if he wants to leave that uncertainty out there, fine. But again, if he would undertake to you know, do that accounting for us so that we will have a clear picture in our mind that where all the money went. As he said, everybody knows where the money went. With these particular questions, then again, I'm more than prepared to wrap up with the department at this point in time.
So, Mr. Chair, thank you, through you, to reply to the statement or the comments by the member. I want to repeat, every single expenditure of government is reported and is accounted for. And the reporting is based on policies, government policies that exist, and all of the expenditures are not only reported, but they're also audited by the Auditor General. They're part of the annual audited financial statements of government that normally is made public during the summer months. So, Mr. Chair, there's no uncertainty here. Everything is clear. Expenditure are being reported, they're being audited, and they're being made public.
I guess we'll have to find another avenue to get the information we're looking for, perhaps through right to information, and I would look forward to an expedient response when we put the RTI in. Thank you, Mr. Chair. And thank you again to the staff for their patience and the work that they do. And again, it's been a good information that's been exchanged here, and we'll be looking for a little more information through RTI in the future.